When I first met Clara, I thought she was one of those people who carried the kind of grace that time itself bowed to. She had that soft, lived-in calm, the kind that comes only after you've been through life storms and still find a way to smile. I was 27, she was 39. We met at a community art class in downtown Seattle. I just started teaching there on weekends to make extra money. She walked in wearing paint-splattered jeans, a mug of coffee in hand, and eyes that seemed to be looking for something beyond the canvas. "Is this the beginner class?" she asked, her voice gentle but confident. "It can be whatever you want it to be," I joked. She smiled, a slow, knowing smile that felt like sunlight through morning fog. From that day on, she became my most curious student. She wasn't there to impress anyone. She painted like someone trying to remember what joy felt like. One afternoon after class, she stayed behind to clean her brushes. We talked about everything: life, failed relationships, how easy it was to lose yourself while trying to be what everyone else needed. She told me about her husband who had passed away 3 years ago. "We were supposed to grow old together," she said quietly, "but I guess I got old alone instead." Something in me ached when she said that. Over the weeks, our conversations deepened. I started looking forward to her laughter, the kind that made everyone else in the room turn just to see who it belonged to, as I'd catch myself stealing glances at her, her hands, the way she tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, the way her eyes softened when she looked at her paintings. But I kept telling myself, she's older, she's out of reach. Then one rainy evening after class, we both stayed late. The lights flickered, thunder rumbled outside, and we found ourselves sitting on the studio floor surrounded by half-finished canvases. She looked at me and said, "You know what's funny? I used to think art was about capturing what's beautiful, but lately I think it's about capturing what's fleeting." I nodded, unsure of what to say. Then she looked at me in a way that felt too long, too honest. "You remind me that life still happens," she whispered. "You make me forget my age." The world seemed to still around us. It wasn't romantic in the way people write songs about. It was something softer, something sacred. Two people meeting in a quiet moment of understanding that we didn't rush into anything. There were no grand declarations, no cliches, just shared cups of coffee, quiet walks by the pier, laughter over burnt pancakes, and endless conversations that made time slip away. For the first time, I realized that connection doesn't check birth certificates, it recognizes souls. Months later, Clara's art changed. Her colors got brighter, her strokes bolder. She started selling her work again, smiling like someone who had finally found herself after years of searching. And me, I learned that kindness sometimes means showing up for someone when they've forgotten how to show up for themselves. Our story didn't fit into any box, maybe it wasn't meant to, because love, real love, isn't about years. It's about moments that remind us we're still alive. And every time she looked at me with that same quiet smile, I remembered her words, "You make me forget my age." And in that, I found something timeless, tone summary, heartfelt, emotional, and deeply human. A story about rediscovering joy, love, and compassion through connection that transcends I thought I was too young for her. Until she whispered, "You